this is May and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. So today I'm building a modern cafe in Newcrest as part of my save file project I'm currently working on. I've already gotten pretty far with the base game worlds, and if you haven't checked out the rest of the builds yet but would like to, I do have a playlist up on my channel with all the speed builds. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out after this video. And yeah, this is the first community lot I am doing in Newcrest. So this is the blank base game world we got in an update a couple of years ago. I actually can't remember how long ago it is now, but I do believe it's been a while now actually. And I do believe it came out when The Sims remade the maps for the base game worlds as well, because believe it or not, the maps used to look a lot different when this game first came out. So they were just like boring gray maps, to be honest. So I'm glad they updated them back then and brought more life to the maps as well. And along with that update, we got Newcrest, which I think a lot of people were happy about, me included. However, I don't build here very often. It's a bit tricky sometimes to build here in my opinion, especially in the neighborhood we're in today, because there is a certain style going on already in the surroundings, and if I'm going to do a community lot, that's not necessarily a style I'm too confident making. And that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards a modern style for today's build, which is a cafe as mentioned. And I think I will continue in a similar style for the rest of the builds on this road as well, because I would love to do community lots here, like the entire road, but with maybe an apartment building or something similar as well. I'd love to do another modern apartment building because the last one I did was in Oasis Springs, also for the save file. It's been a while now actually since I did that one, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So I'm definitely considering doing that here in Newcrest as well, along with maybe some modern townhouses in one of the other neighborhoods in Newcrest. So far, Newcrest is the emptiest world in my save file so far, so I thought it was about time to get started on it, or rather continue it, since I do have a few builds up here already, but all three of them are in like one neighborhood, the one on top of the map, and there I've got some cheaper, more like quote-unquote rundown looking apartments, along with some starter homes, which I have enjoyed doing a lot these days. So that neighborhood is leaning more towards a cheaper look with lots of brick walls and all that. Meanwhile, for the other two remaining neighborhoods, I kind of want to go more modern because I haven't really done a lot of modern builds in Willow Creek or Oasis Springs, and I just feel like I want more modern builds for the base game worlds in my save file, and that's what I've been working on more these days as well. I'm currently doing a lot of voiceovers at the same time. I have a lot of finished builds and I just need to edit them and do the voiceovers, so I'm not sure which build I'm posting first just yet, but there might be like already another modern family home up on my channel, or it might be coming later within the next few weeks. And that one's also in Newcrest, so who knows what I'm posting first. I guess you'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's a bit of an update on the save file progress. Like I said, I'm working on the save file a lot these days. I'm currently doing content creation full time as I don't have a job at the moment, and I'm trying my best to work as much on my content as possible. So I'm quite active here on YouTube as well as Twitch, where I live stream, and on Instagram as well, among other socials. And you can always find all my socials in the Linktree link in the description if that's of any interest. You can already see the build is progressing. I'm trying out slowing down my speed builds a bit so it doesn't go as fast and the videos are a bit longer. Do let me know if you have a preference on that, by the way. Do you want like longer videos, or are they okay as they are? I know that some of my videos are around like 10 minutes and some of my videos can go all the way up to like 30-40 minutes, so let me know if you have a preference on the length of the video. And I also want to try out doing more voiceovers, especially on the save file builds. So far I haven't really done voiceovers for the few community lots I've done, or the starter builds, but I think I'll try my best to do that going forward. I do know people sometimes are very split whether they want voiceovers or they want no talking at all, but with music, and I can understand that because I have done both in the past. There was a very long time where I did no voiceovers at all because it was a bit difficult for me, and around that time some of my videos did really well, so like they got a lot of views, I got a lot of followers as well. But I think I found a better system of doing voiceovers now, and most importantly, I've got the time for it as well. So hopefully you don't mind me talking and explaining the process of the build, or just like railing off and maybe talking about something else entirely, but still that has something to do with The Sims, like I've kind of done today, like talking about the save file rather than just talking about the build we're doing. But yeah, I did struggle a bit with the outside of this build to try and kind of make it look interesting. All I knew was that I wanted some tables on the outside, like if you would like to have your drinks and snacks, you could sew outside as well. So I used two different floorings to kind of separate the areas, along with this hedge item from one of the stuff packs. It might be from Perfect Patio or one of the other stuff packs focusing on outdoors items. And I know you probably wouldn't need any umbrellas over the tables in front of the cafe because there is already like a covered area there with the roof, but I think it kind of added an extra detail regardless, so I went for it. As for the back of the cafe, I decided to do a fenced-in area, particularly meant for kids. So originally I was going to use the kind of enormous jungle gym, I guess you can call it, from the Toddler stuff pack. But after I went back to this build after a couple of days, I was reminded of the splash pad items we got with growing together. I don't know why I always forget about those items, but they're super cute and they're also functional, which we do love. So I decided to put a couple of those in there, along with a sand pit area with a little slide for the toddlers. And if you didn't know, the kids can actually play in the sand area there with only base game, or if you have the Island Living expansion pack, you can also make sand castles. I'm not sure, or I actually think adults can do that as well, so that's a win-win situation. And I think this whole area just turned out nice, and I'm glad I was able to add some activities for the kids here as well. And on the left hand side of the cafe, I did put in a hopscotch that is from For Rent, and also just like a place for you to park your bikes. So I wanted to add some life on the outside of the build as well. As for the inside of the build, I do continue with the very modern, perhaps trendy style. Since this is a cafe, I do have to use the cafe bar item from Get Together, and honestly, it's not my most favorite item to use, at least not for a modern styled cafe. It's a bit more traditional looking with the textures, so I tried to kind of hide the front of that item by using half walls, and it's still functional like that, thankfully. At least that way it's possible to customize the look of it a bit more and make it stand in style with the rest of what we got going on here. So when you walk into the cafe, you're greeted with the bar, of course. We've got the coffee machines and a few different bottles with probably flavors and all that on the wall behind there. And below those shelves, I put in some windows just to make it look a bit more interesting, both from that side and the other side. So I used a few of this very narrow window from the Spa Day pack that is excellent for using multiple of. So using that window, it makes it look a bit more unique, I guess. I also made sure to put in some greenery here too, so I used a hanging plant box from Lovestruck, I do believe it is, and there will be just a few other plants here and there throughout the interior. We also do have a vending machine. I thought, why not? It's probably not very realistic in terms of this being a cafe, but yeah, I thought it fit nicely in here anyway. And this is actually one of the items we got a couple of events ago, the vending machine. But I do believe even if you don't have that item in your own catalog, it will still be in the build if you do decide to download it. And of course, we need a couple of tables inside as well. So I used this tall table with a glass top from Tiny Living. I just like the look of having a couple of light bulbs hanging above the tables as well, so I included that. There is sort of like a hallway, I guess you can call it, from the front there and to the back of the cafe. And on the wall there, I put a lot of flowers. I used this flower wall decoration from Eco Lifestyle and I layered them on top of each other to cover the entire wall. And then I used this neon light from the Moschino stuff pack. And I used Tool Mod to just slightly move it out a bit so it's on the outside of the flowers. And I think my idea with this was to make it look sort of like a selfie wall, if that makes sense. Like people would take their aesthetic selfies and pictures there. And since I used a blue toned light for the neon light, I found some chairs from high school years in a similar color just opposite of that wall, so you can sit there and enjoy your drinks, have some conversations and all that good stuff. Other than that, I made a row of computers. I know that computer cafes probably isn't really a thing anymore. It might have been more popular before, but for some reason I just like to include computers in my Sims cafes anyway, so we got that going on here. So instead of going to a library or anything like that, you can just go here instead. And I would say a cafe is a bit more exciting than visiting a library in The Sims. Another item I used from the Moschino stuff pack is this glass divider. I sliced it down with my bracket keys and lifted it up with the Alt and 0 keys, I believe it is, for English keyboards on PC. I'm actually not entirely sure because my keyboard is in Norwegian and it's a bit different, but I do have a hotkeys short video up on my channel with all the correct information. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to check that out. And last but not least, I included a bigger table for a more sizable group of Sims where you can perhaps play some board games. I included the board game from Lovestruck, I think it is, the functional one. There's also a small bathroom with a changing table for the little ones. And I also decided to include a small kitchen just for the sake of realism. There's not even an oven in there, but just some space for storage and all, and like doing the dishes. And other than that, I'm just finishing up the build here and we'll soon head into the screenshots. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. You can also grab the tray files in the description. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we built this modern cafe, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye!